Alrighty then, we continue to enter the notes for the first page of Star Wars main theme. And when last we left, we had entered all of these notes here for the upper woodwind parts. But one thing we didn't do is we didn't change the time signature. Measure 4 right here, we changed to cut time, where the quarter note equals the half note. So how do you do that? You have to add a score expression to do a tempo change. So that is done with the expression tool. Well, first you have to change the time signature. So we'll do this time signature, which is 4/4. Double click in the measure where the time signature starts. And we are going to adjust this time signature. This is a kind of a strange little system, but it works well. We have the number of beats. We're going to go from 4 beats down to 2 beats, but then we're going to go from the quarter gets the beat to the half gets the beat. So that's going to actually be increasing the duration. Here is dotted quarter as the beat, which is compound time, and here is half note as the beat. And we're going to select just measure 4 to the next time change, and then we'll repeat the procedure when we get to the next time change. Go ahead and click OK. And this option here, rebar music, will have no effect because we're having the same note qualities in those measures. Okay. Now we need to add that score expression for the tempo change. So I'm in expression. I'm going to double click on the measure, and I need to do a tempo mark. And this is a special tempo mark, this lo stesso tempo. So we can't just select it, we have to create it. So we're going to create a tempo mark, and the text is lo stesso. And what that means is the same speed. And then now we need to create the quarter note equals half note indication. So we're going to insert a note, quarter note equals, and then we insert another note, half note. The font is changing on me. Font 14 times. Okay. So here I need to go back to the Times Roman text font. There we go. All right, we've created that. And we will assign it now. And there you go. Don't worry about this collision, I guess, of notes, and score marking will fix that later. All right, let us continue on. And I want to start with the horn part. In fact, what I want to do now is I want to focus on the brass section in general. I tried to demonstrate this in class, but my computer wasn't cooperating, so I'll see if I can do it now. I'm going to see if I can create a staff group. Select the staff tool, and I'm going to select the brass parts. I'm going to go to View. I'm going to press Control. Nope. I'm going to press Alt. Nope. Okay, so I pressed Control before I hit View, and now I am able to, I'm going to do this as staff set 2. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the woodwinds. Select these, hit Control, click on the View, View, right? Program staff set, and we'll make this staff set 1. Now here's what that does. It just makes it a little bit easier to get around. In my staff set, I'm going to select, we may have to edit that in post. Let's try that again. Control, View, Program Staff Set 1. Now, will allow me to this may be a bug. I don't know what's going on here. Let me search. Let's try this. Instead of selecting the parts, let's try selecting like this. This may be user error. I'm selecting the wrong thing. Control, View, Program Staff Set 1. Ah, we did it. All right, and now I'll go back to View, select Staff Set. We'll show all staffs. We'll do the same thing now for the brass. So what I did was I was actually selecting the name of the staff and not the staff itself. So I need to select these right next to the clef. And again, Control, View, Program Staff Set 2. Okay, so what that does is it just kind of eliminates some extraneous measures. Now, this is really helpful if you're doing something where say the violins and the woodwinds are working in conjunction in a certain texture. You can hide stuff in the middle. But we'll go ahead and work in this format here and start the French horns. Now, remember, the French horns, it's not really horn 1 and horn 2. It's horn 1 and 2, horn 3 and 4. And we want to enter all the notes for horn 1 in layer 1 and enter all the notes for horn 2 in layer 2. There's an important score marking in your score, this A2. That means both parts play the same thing. So you'll see A2 until it switches into truly separate parts. So I'm going to start by entering notes in horn 1. I have my keyboard right here. It's plugged into the computer. It's talking by MIDI. But my real estate in my office is a little bit cramped, so I'm not sure it's going to speed things up that much. So I'm in horn 1. Simple entry. I need a 8th note, F, 8th rest, quarter note, F, tied. I'm going to use the T to initiate the tie. I need 8th note, F, another 8th note, F. Now I have a tuplet, triplet F, Alt 9, yes. Oh, no. I need to enter the F first, and then Alt 9. Have a dotted quarter. I press the 5, enter the note, press the dot. And then an 8th note, C. And here we actually start splitting parts. And it looks like the horn 1s have a half note F. Again, you're going to have to do some sleuthing. I say it looks like a half note F because we see the horn 2 part, a quarter 3 triplets. So I'm just assuming that that up stem is the F6. F. Whoops, wrong. F. And going on to the next measure, back to our horn part, 8th note F. Alt 9 to enter the tuplets. F, F. This is another half note F. It's hard to see. And then 8th note C, Alt 9. Yes. Ah. Nope, that's right. C, 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 and when we get to here, it's eighth note high F, and the rest of that measure is rest. I don't have to enter the rests. What I can do is just come back into layer 2 for the horn part 2, and it will automatically enter those other notes. Now, for the most part, what we can do is we can copy a layer. We can copy these two measures into the other layer, edit, move copy layers, copy contents of 1 into layer 2, okay. And that will work for the A2 section until we get here. So starting here is where we need to enter the other part for the horn. So I'm going to go ahead and click into layer 2, get into speedy entry, simple entry, and I'm going to control click this F here and then press the delete key. And that will erase the quarter note F, because now what I need to do is enter a quarter note F and then eighth note triplet E flats. So press 5. F, that's not what I wanted. For some reason it didn't get the eighth note there. All right, so I'm going to have to put the eighth note back in. C, 5, F, 4, E flat, Alt 9, okay. And then we have some dueling triplets here. Quarter note C, and you can see again my layers are color coded. Layer 2 is red, layer 1 is black. C, 4, C, Alt 9, okay, C, C, 5, C. Now, I discovered last time, and I'll show it in the horn 2 part, still 5, G, eighth note, F. I'm done with that part. Okay, I'm going to go now into the horn 3 and 4. It looks mostly homorhythmic with part 2. So I'm going to copy this layer 2 into layer 1 down here. So what I'm going to try to do is copy just the red notes, but into layer 1. I don't know if I can do that. Let's do this. Document, show active layer only, control copy, and then I'll switch to layer 1 down here. Click in there, control paste. Nope, didn't do it. All right, in this case, it might be faster just to go ahead and enter the part. So I'm in layer 1. I'll go ahead and enter that. All right, speedy entry. Control click to get in the measure. 4 is correct. I need a C and a rest, and then a quarter note. 5. F tied to an eighth note. Triplets. Now here, instead of doing the Alt 9, I'm going to do Control 9. And since I already have my eighth note selected, it will turn on the triplet and eighth notes. I'll go ahead and do F, F, F. To get out of that tool, I'm going to double tap 5, and that will remove the triplet. F dot 4, C, 5, C, 4, control 9, B flat, B flat, B flat, double tap 5, B flat, hit the 4, control 9, B flat, B flat, B flat, double tap 5, B flat, and then an E natural quarter note, and eighth note F. Very good. And horn 4, the first two measures are homorhythmic. So I'll select those first two measures. I click in the measure to select the measure. I shift click to select everything in between the two clicks. Edit, move copy layer, copy contents of layer 1 into layer 2. Okay, there's my reds. And I need to do the repitch thing. Now the repitch is a lot easier when you have a keyboard. So simple entry, repitch, make sure I'm in layer 2, control click the first note. And that first note needs to be an F. And then F, 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 and then we got to start entering notes. So I'll hit 4, control 9, F, F, double tap 5, whoop, double tap 6 actually. 4, control 9, C, 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 double tap 4 to remove the tuplet, F. Boom. We go on to the trumpets. Let's look at the trumpets. Do they match anybody in particular? Not yet. They kind of got new stuff. So I'll start in layer 1. This is a step you will forget. Layers are your best friend. They're your worst enemy because you'll start entering notes not realizing you're in the wrong layer. I'm going to go ahead and enter trumpet part 1. Control click into the measure. Quarter note, C. T for tie. Eighth note, C. Quarter, eighth rest, half rest, eighth rest, 30-second notes, 2, C, 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 C. Now here's where this control 9 is really handy. Go ahead and get into the eighth note first and then control 9 because I have a whole string of eighth notes. C, G, F, G, F, C, C, G, F, G, F, C, C. Oops, I missed a G back in there. G, F. And here's an interesting case. We have the basic rhythm is a triplet eighth note, but we have some sixteenths in the second part of it. So we go G. When we switch to the 16th note, it will keep the tuplet subdivision. So we're good there. You just have to switch back and forth between the... And we're still in triplets. Bump, 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 bump. G, G, G. And then whole note C. Trumpet 2 part, which will be basically almost exactly the same. We start in A2 right here so that both parts are playing the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to repitch. I'm going to copy layer 1 into 2 and repitch the first two notes, and I should be good to go. Yep. So selection tool. Click in this first measure, Come over here, shift, click, edit, move copy layers, copy layer 1 into layer 2. Okay. Simple entry, repitch, control click the note. Now this note here is yellow because it lies outside of the basic range. John knows what he's doing though. He knows he's working with the Boston Pops, so it's probably not going to be an issue. And we need those first two notes to be E's. And then the rest of them are correct. Yep. Now, as I'm looking at trumpet 3, I see homorhythmic with this part we just created. So I'm going to layer 1, and I just need one layer, so I'm going to go ahead and do document, show active layer only, selection tool, shift click, control click, and then I'll go ahead and get out of that active layer. Otherwise, we would have copied both layers, and we don't need to do that. And then the repitch tool, shift click, and we need G. And the rest of it is the same. Very good. Moving on to the trombone. Ooh, interesting. All right, we get to do a new tuplet. Control click. Oh, let me get a note duration first. 5. That will get me out of the repitch tool. Control click. Control click. Delete it. B flat dot 30-second notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enter the dot. 30-second notes. Hit the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have a string of 8th note triplets. So I'm going to hit the 4 to select 8th note. And this control 9 initiates the default tuplet setting, which in this case is 3 in the space of the 2 current duration. So now I'll be entering B flat, F, E flat, F, E flat, B flat, B flat, F, E flat. Now here's the fun part. We have an 8th note and then 16th triplets. So I'm going to double tap the F. That will get rid of the tuplet tool. I'll double tap the 4 to get rid of the tuplet tool. I'll enter the F. And now I need to move to 16th notes and then hit the control 9. And that will make 16th note triplets. And I gotta read back in the bass clef where we are. B flats. Enter the 4, and we still have the tuplet tool. E flat, F, B flat, F. Double tap the 5. A flat, tied to, and A flat. 8th rest. And then control 9 for the triplets. F, F, F. Now, interesting in this measure, I have quarter note triplets, but I start off with rests. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the quarter note. I still have my tuplet active. You can see 2 ways. You see that my cursor is loaded with triplets and the triplet is open, but I need to enter 2 rests. So 0, 0, then the 8th notes on B flat for trombone 1. So hit the 4. And all that's left is a half note B flat. Boom. Okay, back up a little bit. I'll enter trombone 2-part, and then looks like the bass trombone is mostly the same as the trombone 1-part. And the tuba starts like the flutes, ends like the trombone parts. So it should be fairly easy to get that in there. And then we'll call it a day on this video. So again, copy into layer because we have to do trombone 1 and 2. Shift, edit, move copy layers, copy contents of layer 1 into layer 2. Okay. For the most part, A2, really the only place we have to repitch is here at the end. Make sure I'm in layer 2. I want this note here to be in F. Get in the repitch tool. F, F, F. Done with the trombone 2. Copy that into the bass trombone. Back it up. Make sure I select layer 1. Document. Show active layer only. Selection tool. Click. Shift. Click. Control. Click. I think that bass trombone's already done now. Ooh, we need to move it up an octave. And we'll need to repitch the last note to a D. All right. So I'm going to select all of this. I'm going to Utilities, Transpose, up an octave, boom, and then F, 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 and the last notes are Ds. Simple entry, repitch tool, control click that note, D, D, D. That will change those. Alrighty then. Alright, so I'm going to go up here to my staff sets. And I'm going to select all staves so I can grab the oboe part. Control copy. That's Control C. Come down here to the tuba and paste. We'll edit the note later. And then this last little bit, da da da, ba ba ba, is what the tuba also has. So I'm going to select this here. I'm going to get all the way to the end of the measure. Control copy. And then I want to control click right underneath that 8th note so that I get in the right part of the measure. That is correct. Now we'll go back and do the repitch tool. And I'm just going to drag the notes because my keyboard has an octave limit. And I don't want to have to change things. Control click. That needs to be down an octave. I could have used the transpose tool. And this needs to be oops, I messed up. I copied the timpani part. I actually need this whole measure in there. There. Bump up puppy. F F F B flat B flat B flat. So these notes here need to be repitched. Oops, I didn't select the right tool. Minus key is the flat. Minus key is the flat. Minus key is the flat. All right. So there is the brass part entered. I'm going to save. And then I wonder what would happen. What do you think is going to happen when I click this play button? Nothing's going to happen. Well, that's just sweet. I need to set up my audio. We'll go play through MIDI. I think my issue here is my sound turned up. Let me check my audio routing. Oh, that looks right. Well, I'll troubleshoot that. We'll demonstrate that later. All right. This has been fun. See y'all later.